Cedar Point sucks. Yup, I said it, and here's why. Cedar Point is a large amusement park located on a peninsula in Sandusky, Ohio, and the general consensus is that it's one of, if not the best amusement parks in the world. I mean, come on, it has great rides, good food, cool atmosphere, multiple hotels, a water park, and shows. But I personally don't like it, and yes, the rides are amazing, but definitely not as good as people say. Here's my thoughts on all the major coasters. Blue Streak is fine, but there are better and more memorable old wooden coasters. Cedar Creek Mine Ride is awkward and uncomfortable, even for an Aero mine train. I don't even think people that like Cedar Point like Corkscrew, so it's pretty bad. Gatekeeper is fine, but there are better wing coasters out there, and the ending is terrible. Like, what is this? Gemini is the only coaster I have no complaints for. It's a smooth, fun, and enjoyable racing coaster. Iron Dragon is slow and boring, but I guess it looks nice. Magnum is my least favorite coaster period, but I do get the historical significance. Maverick is really good, but I like the two other Blitz coasters I've been on way more. And the restraints suck. Millennium Force, more like Millennium Forceless. Raptor is good, but there are some nasty transitions, especially the one into the final brake run. Most people don't really like Rougarou, but I really liked it. Also, it didn't have a line, so that's nice. Siren's Curse didn't exist when I went, so skip it. Steel Vengeance is the crown jewel of Cedar Point, and it's good, but definitely not as good as some other RMCs like Iron Gwazi or Airy Force. Top Thrill 2 closed. Valraven is a mid-dive coaster with vest restraints. Wild Mouse, don't really remember it. And finally, the two kiddie coasters, which are just kiddie coasters. Wow, that was a lot of hot takes, but let's keep it going with flat rides. So, Cedar Point has a very short sky ride, which is kind of pointless. They also have a Huss Frisbee, which is way worse than the Zamperla ones. And can someone tell me why they have 2 Samba balloons, 2 carousels, 2 frog hoppers, and 2 crazy buses? And don't even get me started on how short the cycle is on the Screamin' Swing. But even though the rides have their flaws, they are still slightly better than average rides. So you might be thinking, why are you complaining about Cedar Point? There's perks of SLCs and boomerangs and you're not complaining about them. Well, I didn't have to wait 2 hours for any rides at those parks. And I don't care how good a ride is, it's definitely not worth waiting 2 hours for it. And maybe for some people it is, but for me personally, I wouldn't wait more than 30 minutes for any ride. And at Cedar Point, it's basically impossible to do that without a fast lane. And I'm not the biggest fan of paying to skip the line, especially when other people have to wait longer. And that is a big problem at Cedar Point, and it's also really frustrating when you see somebody ride the roller coaster twice and you're still stuck in line. And another problem about Cedar Point is the operations. I mean, Cedar Point didn't have the worst operations, but for the amount of people that visit this park, they definitely need better operations. And while I was at Cedar Point, I got this general vibe that was like, we're Cedar Point, we know we're great, and we don't have to improve. And I'm not saying improve by adding more roller coasters, because they already are doing that. I'm saying improve a bunch of little small things around the park, like adding free lockers in the queue line of Millennium Force. Because when I went, I had to ride with my phone, and that's probably why I don't like Millennium Force that much. Other than that, the park atmosphere just feels tired and lacked charm. Like, I've been to so many parks that are just bursting with history and charm, and Cedar Point is over 150 years old, but it looked like it was built in the 90s with the budget of Six Flags. So overall, Cedar Point is a lackluster amusement park of good rides, but it's always very stressful to visit, to the point where I enjoyed my day at Michigan's Adventure the day after just a little bit better. And I'm not saying Cedar Point is a terrible park, I'm just saying it's very overrated and definitely not as good as people say. And if it's your first time ever going, I would say put your expectations a little bit lower and have them exceeded. But what are your guys' opinions on Cedar Point? Do you think it's a little overrated like me, or do you absolutely love it? I would love to hear. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and coaster it. Bye!